Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Good yantif, everybody. Good yantif. Obviously, as the Rebbe always tells us, that a yantif is a pull and imshachas that continues, only grows and grows. So one can make an argument that even greater than the day of Yutes and Chaf is Chaf Aleph. It's the day that we take what Yutes and Chaf, the inspiration of Yutes and Chaf, and we actually then use it to launch ourselves into what it is that for us is Chag HaGeula. So to a certain degree, I know that time is limited and everybody's been on for a while. But to speak, obviously, both to the Yontif, that is Yutes and Chaf Kislev, and then this very special group of women that are here, and then the Poel Yetzeh that, in a sense, is the as the Rebbe would always say, and there was one of the earlier years of the Kinas HaShluchim, they were, after it was a tremendous success, they were writing the Duch to the Rebbe with all the details of how the Chassidim came to, the Shluchim came together. They verbring, and it was so powerful and it was beautiful. And they finished the Duch, and the Rebbe sent back the Duch with one word, V'habechein, question mark, which is, and the therefore, and so it was a beautiful, inspiring event. And what is the bechein? What is the, so when to me always, every yantif, if I bring, we connect with the yantif, we daven, we learn, etc., and we take a chlatis because the bechein, as a yid b'chlal, but as a chassid always is, what is what is am I going to be doing differently on the other end of this yantif? So first, it's interesting. There's a debate. This is a story associated. Some say it was associated with Yud Beis Tammuz. Some say it was with Yutes Kislev, either the incarceration of the Alter Rebbe or the Frierdiker Rebbe. But the point could be and should be about both, which is that when the Rebbe was imprisoned, so the Hasidim, the inner group of the Hasidim, got together and they started discussing what could we possibly do. Each person, what could do? I could go here, I could speak to this official, we could go there, we can rally the Hasidim over here, and establish a Torah Tefillah Tzedakah. So each of the Chassidim talked about what it is that they can do in terms of either galvanizing pressure or getting Chassidim to work on their tefillas, to shake heavens, etc. And one Chassid said, "I'm going to run right now and go grow potatoes." And the rest of the Chassidim looked at him and said, "What?" So there's a very serious situation over here. We're talking about what we can do because the Rebbe is sitting in prison, and we're talking about everybody's what they contribute. You're going to grow potatoes. Why in the world are you going to grow potatoes? He says, what do you mean? Because any minute now, there's going to be a Chag HaGeula, and there's going to be Farbrengens all over, and there's not nearly enough mashke ready for the amount of Farbrengens that are going to be to celebrate the Chag HaGeula. So I'm taking it upon myself to make sure that there's enough potatoes so we can distill it into mashke so that the Farbrengens. And with that, he changed the mindset. It was a very important, and obviously the fact that we have the story again. Well, the stories from the Frierdiker Rebbe are from the Alter Rebbe. It's an important story and Farbrengt about a lot because ultimately, that's our attitude. We're sitting, for whatever reason, we're sitting still in Galus, etc. But the ones that can sit and envision the Geula, they're the ones that carry the day. And in a very real way, that is the Nashim Tzidkanius. That is what each of you, and not just the Nashim in general, but this specific group of women, really are as there may be machers all over, and everybody's doing things, etc. And everyone is this one has this connection, the government connection. This one is a tzaddik and is inspiring people, but but the ones that first and foremost make sure that we have a clarity as to where all this is going is the Nashim Tzidkanius that remind us that never to take our eye off the prize, The matter, nachatog in galus, whatever it is, to not fall into a state of despair or kalamutna, but the opposite, to only grow in our fervor and our commitment to making sure that these are the last minutes we're stuck in galus, and to live with truly a geula mindset. Which really, honestly, when I've been farbringing with people about Yutes and Chav Kislev, this is what Yutes and Chav Kislev is. Many people, he says, it was sparked by the fact that my kid came home from Cheder, and Yutes Chav they did a little project with the little child, taking the medicine in, right, to drop the crown jewel. And it says, this is what they made, L'chavid Yutes and Chav Kislev, and they very happily and very well told over the story, the mashal. And the truth is that, so I sat down and I said, it's a beautiful project and a beautiful story, but that's not Yutes Chav Kislev. Yutes Chav Kislev that was the answer that the Alter Rebbe gave for the Baal Shem Tov and for the Maggid as to why their Chassidus, the Chassidus that the Alter Rebbe that the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid were spreading. And the Rebbe asked, the Alter Rebbe was imprisoned because he taught a different type of Chassidus, and he was on trial again for the specific Chassidus that the Alter Rebbe taught. That was the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid. They were giving Chassidus that was a tonic and a marpeh lanefesh, a medicine for the soul to cope with Golus. But that didn't explain why the Chassidus Chabad had to be given. And the Rebbe says, why Chassidus Chabad? Because Chassidus Chabad is not about coping with Golus. Chassidus Chabad is about living in the Geula and preparing for the Geula. Yutes Kislev is the day we shifted focus from surviving Golus to the day about living in the Geula. So there's no better time than to talk about, in a sense, the holy and important work that is being done here in this specific group in this specific time, which is to do what we can to make sure that the Armon is this project that has been a project that has languished for decades should no longer languish. And really, it is Yashakech goes out to the women in this group, who are the ones that, despite many people losing. I remember when I was a bacher in yeshiva, there was a spark, a reinvigorated moment. This is in the early. It was those that were in holding the torch and pushing this forward that has led to this moment where Baruch Hashem, we can say and report that a huge leap forward, a massive leap forward has been happening here in terms of those that are getting involved, both in the United States and in Eretz Yisrael. More details on the specifics will follow, and as things are becoming solidified, but there has never been this level of direct involvement by people that will be able to get it done, and not only the ones that will be able to get it done, but they're galvanizing the funding for this and the plans, the vision and the direction of this it's really a tremendous, a very, very tremendous and exciting time, and really there's kudos goes especially in terms of this group, this whole group. But the point is that as the catalytic engines, and as with a lot of from Yetzias Mitzrayim and onward, have been those that have been driven by a clarity in their emunah, and in getting it done, and so there are very concrete, what for a while, for many years was just about trying to get support and buy-in, we've moved past that stage. The support and the buy-in stage and now we're moving into the place where principals are involved in very concrete steps. A timeline is being created. The budget has been clear. Architects and contractors are engaged. It is a hugely exciting stage in this project. And in that regard, as this group will be kept apprised of the developments as they come. Like everything else, a project that is moving forward of this caliber has to be done. So it has to be done in a comprehensive, step by step, and a Masudadic fashion. It's always the Rebbe's outlook. The itis to tell you most definitely the kalim de tikkun are necessary, and so as we move this project into the next phase again, lepula tava yashachela, as the quote in Tanya, in the Hagdama and the Haskamas of the Gainim of the Zusha Anapoli and Rabbi Yodele Bakain that we just read, that for good work one has to just say Ayashakeach, and that goes to all of you, really all of you. And being the torchbearers, not only the torchbearers in terms of the inspiration and the emunah, but also the support financially and otherwise that has brought to this moment. And as I understand that Rebbe Katz mentioned, there is going to continue to, there needs to continue to be support. In fact, right now engaged on the project of the Armon is one of Israel's foremost designers and visionaries. Is a name that is incredibly well respected from the highest levels of political power in Israel all the way down to everybody that is engaged in the world of design, of creating places of deep meaning, etc. He has been trusted by the Moreshet HaKotel to design most of that which exists now, the development of this area, and he is now fully on board and fully engaged. And it's this, besides from Rabbanim and Mashpim and Chabad that have taken, for many of them, the first look at this in over 20 years. It is a very tremendous forward momentum. But like everything else, ask that the ladies continue to do the yeoman's effort over here and continue to do what you've been doing up until now, spreading the awareness and continuing to fundraise so that as we move this to the next phase, as I always said, to keep the pilot light, the fire burning, so that we can move and with a very important package with the videos and professionally prepared videos by this firm that I just mentioned, and a full-blown executive presentation that will then go to donors who are able to give in the tens of millions to this project, that actually have already been engaged and are waiting to see this this what we call the prospectus, or the executive summary of it on the caliber that makes everything that we have shown or has been up until this point. It was really just was preparation for this moment, for where we're at. So it's very exciting, the caliber that this has wrapped up to. But there is the need for your constant and continued shepherding of this project all the way through to its completion. I want to clarify as follows. One of the reasons, to a certain degree, why you can sense even in what I am saying a certain vagueness, is because a key aspect of this is that when we do launch this phase in the most public way, it's going to be something that we're being very should just know to clarify that in this, and I'm going to speak in clear words, I am among, I think, a sympathetic crowd. I consider myself very firmly on the right side of the political aisle in terms of Moshiachism. I say I very strongly and proudly say he and myself, and without any hesitation, etc. On these matters. The person who is behind, who is overseeing the entire Armon project, is one who is very strongly in this camp, and yet at the same time, that understand that this is a project that will be embraced. The way to see this all the way through is that it will be embraced by not only all of Chabad from across the entire spectrum, but the entire Yiddish Welt, not only the Yiddish Welt, but even the Goyim, etc., to not only be behind this, but support it, etc. And language and branding is being made right now that be you the most ardent Mashiachist to the one who is an anti, etc., etc. You are going to be in love with this project. And it's going to wow you and inspire you and move you. And so in terms of that new brand, and we don't want to what they call jump the shark, get ahead of ourselves until it is prepared and it's ready to go, and then we will flood the market, as it were, with everything, and we will push everybody. Right now, and that is to a certain degree the key, the seed money. And that is what we said. The video that's going to come out, and the prospectus and all that is going to be with a branding that, as I said, if you are and this has been quote unquote brought to mashpim on both sides. The most ardent Mashiachist mashpim to the most ardent non-Mashiachist mashpia, and this is something that both sides are firmly behind. And when it will come time, I'm sure it could mean another session, Rivki and Basi, with all the women here of the Welcome Mashiach, to clarify. To answer all the questions in terms of the specificities of the marketing campaign when it will shortly be ready. In the meantime, by all means, continue with what you're doing till now, using the material that already exists. Push the Armon, push the Sefer Torah that are being written to be put into the Armon, because with that helps fund the effort to create this this marketing campaign that is only that's only one part of the main thrust of what is occurring now. So as I said, I'm about this phase. One thing I can tell you definitively is that it will be very soon, that we'll be able to provide all the materials of an incredibly high quality to everybody. One that will have appeal to anybody, and because we're going to need everybody, we're going to need a support for everybody, and the key aspect will be to move the Armon into a place where it is universally received and universally, and help, and perhaps will be a key element in bringing back the achdus that oftentimes is sorely lacking in our own chutzner over here. I don't want to get ahead of myself because I don't, because as with everybody, we're trying to be. We're trying to, move as quickly as possible and with all the enthusiasm, but at the same time realize that you got to wait till the cake is baked till it's baked. In the meantime, it doesn't mean that we're slowing down the efforts at all. In fact, it's very necessary to continue, in a sense, what it is that you are doing. I think was already mentioned that with the materials that already exist, that have been in matzliach very much in seeding and getting us to this phase, that we can now then in a sense bring in the advanced a new phase in the marketing and the efforts. But until we're there, to continue with what it is that they have to the crowd that is sympathetic and open to hearing about their Armon. So please continue to use the material that you have. Continue to use it as a way to build awareness, as well as raise the funds, and Emetz Hashem, very shortly, through these efforts and the efforts that preceded them, for all the years that you guys have been working on this, we will be able to launch the next very important and exciting phase in this.